Yeah, this is good. Is that a cat? Is that a thing? What the frick? Oh my god.
Welcome to the video! This was supposed to be a PowerPoint for the presentation night we're having tonight, but since it's the last one and I wanted to outdo myself last time I remade a PowerPoint for a friend, here's this. Originally I wanted to do a thing where I talked about video games or anime or something, but since I'm the de facto manga guy here at the Society, I thought that instead I should probably talk about, well, manga. And so with all of that said, here are my top 5 concluded manga series that I myself have read. My number 5 spot goes to this series by mangaka Kotoyama, Yofukashi no Uta, Call of the Night for all you non-weebs. You might have heard of this mangaka from other series such as Dagashi Kashi, but I think that this is by far their best work. The story follows the tale of a young boy named Ko. Fed up with school and unable to sleep, he goes out to the town to try and let off some steam, only to meet this strange girl going by the name Nazuna Nanakusa. Unbeknownst to Ko, this strange girl is actually a vampire. Coming in at 20 volumes and having received an 8.18 on MAL, it's definitely a series you don't want to miss. I think we've all had enough of romance for one day, so in my number 4 spot comes a classic series from the years 1994 to 2006. A fantastic manga totaling only 5 omnibus volumes in English and 14 in the original Japanese printing, this is a series near and dear to my heart, Yokohama Kadashiki Ko, also known colloquially as Yokohama Shopping Trip to those who can't be asked to learn the Japanese name. This is one of those series you read when you want to feel nice and warm inside. In the far post-apocalyptic future of Japan, a robot named Alpha opens a cafe to the fine tune of 0 customers. That's not a problem, however, because even when there is a customer, it's always a lovely conversation over a cup of tea or some fun interaction with another robot from the city. And I mean, just look at these colours! As for why this series only takes my number 4 spot, it's because only so much happens in it. It's a good story, with lots of good characters and settings, but not as much substance. Definitely give this one a read if you want to feel happy though. Coming in at number 3, it's none other than the stellar work by the amazing Hiromu Arakawa, Full Metal Alchemist. I'm sure just about everyone who's anyone that's picked up a volume of manga or watched a single episode of anime knows what this series is. There's a reason the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood anime topped the charts on MAL for so long. Simply put, it's a series that works incredibly well for its genre, the epitome of shonen manga. It's got impulsive decisions, flashy fights, and politics of life or death? Politics? In my shonen manga? Yes, that's right, people, this series has politics. I know that might be a turnoff for some of you, but hear me out. The politics of this story are so deeply woven into the dialogue between characters that it feels natural, and by the end of the series you'll be scratching your head wondering why you enjoyed reading what was basically a recount of a civil war started by 2 children and their dad. Now look, I know I gush about this series a lot, and I know it's become one of those things people associate with the cesspit that is the anime circle jerk of Reddit, but it genuinely is a good series. Of all the manga I've read, this one has got to be the one that I remember the most about, and for good reasons too. The characters and fights are super interesting to watch. The fact that the power system is basically science on steroids is super interesting and lets anyone pick it up and understand what's going on at any time. Even though this series is a little longer than the rest of the others I've already talked about, coming in at 27 volumes, don't let this deter you from giving it a try. It's a seriously great manga. Now, enough about that, let's get into the real stuff.
Get the hell out of this! This isn't 2019!
We are not talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm talking about Bleach. Forget doing things the diplomatic way. This series has fights, and I'm fucking here for it. Now, I must admit, I haven't actually finished this series. As of the time of writing, I've only read 54 of the 74 available volumes, but that does not mean I'm unqualified to give my opinion on this series. The story follows the titular Ichigo Kurosaki, a middle school boy who can and always has been able to see ghosts. Things take a turn for the worse when he finds what he at the time believes is just another ghost being attacked by a monstrous creature he later finds out to be called a hollow. Awakening to unwieldy powers, he helps the girl, known as Rukia Kuchiki, fend off and defeat this strange presence. After the battle, it's found that Rukia has lost her own power and now must rely on Ichigo to help out with the duties of a Soul Reaper. I'm sure that if you've been at the Society long enough, you've heard me talk about this series, and if not, definitely the series it technically comes from. Taking the #1 spot in my top 5 concluded manga series is the Bakemonogatari manga. This manga was rewritten and drawn by the talented Oh Great, and it certainly shows. He's been known to be a little risque when it comes to story and artwork, and although this is certainly true for the Bakemonogatari manga, the quality of the artwork more than makes up for it. This manga series was based off of the legendary Monogatari light novel series written by Nisio Isin, which, by the way, is getting its Monster and Off-Season releasing in July. Although the Monogatari series is very long, the manga only covers up to the end of Nekomonogatari Kuro, and contains some of Owari Monogatari in the form of the story that takes place during Nekomonogatari Shiro as well. Don't worry if you didn't understand that, I've seen all of the series and still don't understand it all. Thank you for watching this short video I made just for presentation night. I really wanted to give this my all since I had the free time and patience to learn all of the programs needed for this to work even just a little. Anyway, back to you, Jared.